Hello, I'm John Beattie. Welcome to Cask to Glass, the whisky podcast where I explore the heritage and flavour of Scotland's national drink and the world's favourite spirit. Now, in the last episode, we were talking to rugby legend Chris Cusiter about the more difficult to pronounce whiskies. So I'm with Gillian Kirkland in the award-winning Piper Whisky Bar in Glasgow, and we're going to try to get them right. Can't promise.
We're going to try. We're going to try.
We've got 12, okay? We've got 12 whiskies. Let's just, I mean, it's a bit like, you know, when you go to America, you say Yosemite, but it's Yosemite.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to claim we are 100%.
No, I think, and I think the more you overthink it, the more likely it is that you'll get it wrong. But is there a wrong and is there a right? It's a bit like what you get from whiskey overall. You know, my nose and palate might be different from yours, but I suppose those that speak Gaelic will keep us right.
Let's try this one. Oh, that was nice. Purely randomly, right?
Yep.
So I was somewhere recently and somebody said, I've got a bottle of Laphroaig. So it's Laphroaig. Where's it from? And what's the correct pronunciation?
Okay. So this is Laphroaig.
Laphroaig.
It's an Islay whisky. It's your peaty whisky. This particular one has got a sherry oak finish. But yeah, I've heard Laphroaig. Laphroaig is quite common, I have to say. And I do have a friend who says Laphroaig, and he's always said Laphroaig. And Laphroaig's been said that many times now that I can't correct him. You know, sometimes if the customers come in, I think, should I tell them? But then sometimes they don't need to know. It doesn't matter.
No.
So that's a kind of, that always gives me a wee laugh because of he says Laphroaig. Yeah. And he's always said Laphroaig and he probably always will, but it's Laphroaig.
So this is your classic peaty Islay whiskey, isn't
Very
it?
popular.
Laphroaig. So it's Laphroaig.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well done. Thank you for that one. You pick another one.
Right,
randomly.
okay. Shall we go for, well, this one's quite funny because, well, it's not funny, but so I initially would have said Glen Garioch.
Let's spell it out, shall we?
So Glen Garioch.
Yeah.
And again, I think the CH in Scotland's important. You know, we have our lochs and England.
Because that's what you think it's going to be.
Yes. And it's actually, believe it or not, Glengarioch.
Glengarioch.
And it's funny because you think, I just wasn't expecting that.
No.
You know, it does not look like Glengarioch.
No. Yeah, I was invited to speak at a rugby club called Geary. That's the spelling. So Garioch is Geary.
So you had a heads up.
Glengarioch, single malt Scotch whisky.
I'd have been asking for directions to Garioch.
Right, good. Let's have another one.
Right.
So that one that's north of Aberdeen. That's where Geary is.
Yeah, that's a Highland, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bottle number 3 of 12.
Okay.
See, if I look at this, Dramor. Right, Dramor. Dràm, meaning dram.
Yep.
More means big in Gaelic.
Yep.
There's Ciar Mhor, I think, yeah, Dew is black, isn't it? Loch Dew is black loch. Ciar Mhor is something big. Bowmore. Bowmore. I think I'm right.
Well, I don't know.
This?
I mean, Dramor, that's the who's bottled it. So that's an indie bottler, and they've bottled the Dramor. But you've got other ones out there, you know, your kind of Carnmore, and there is a lot of similar ones kicking about. But it was the Duich Speyside Distillery.
Duich.
And again, it's Duich, I think.
Duich.
Yes, I don't know how much we're doing the.
Really?
And this is, I mean, I may be wrong, but yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, so Duich is Duich.
Duich. Yeah.
Duich.
Yeah.
Very, very quick.
Yeah.
Right. Is it a nice one? You like it?
Lovely. Very nice.
Okay. Will I pick another one?
Yeah, go for it. Oh,
Another Islay. All right, here we go.
one of my favourites.
I always think that it and this one, they look great, don't
Yeah.
they? So this is Bunnahabhain Bunnahabhain. Bunnabhain. And Gillian, it is. Well, I mean, what are the wrong ones you get? What do people say?
So, I mean, that personally, people will just ask for Bunna.
But
It just keeps life simple.
keep it quick.
If you go to the tastings, and obviously we're talking about it, we've got one tonight actually, but it's Bunnahabhain. Bunnahabhain. So we're turning the BH into a V.
Right.
Bunnahabhain.
So you turn the U into an O.
Yeah.
Bunnahabhain.
I think both
See,
are
I've
acceptable.
been wrong all the time.
Well, I might be wrong. It's possible.
Bunnahabhain. How does that one taste? How does a Bunnahabhain?
Oh, it's my
12-year-old?
favourite. That's one of my.
can we
That's
pour
my.
it?
If I
Really?
yeah, that would be my Dràm of choice. Look at the colour. Beautiful. And you're right. What
Sherry?
you're saying. Sherry finish. Yep. Non-peaty from Islay.
It's non-peachy.
It's unusual, but yeah, that's your non-peaty Dràm. Oh, does that not smell great?
Oh boy.
That is my go-to. You know, people have their favourites. That is my favourite.
Bunnahabhain from Islay.
Or the 18-year-old or the 25. It just depends who's buying.
It's a great distillery too, isn't it?
Oh, it's
You
brilliant.
can get a great. We can't market it. We're not punting any particular whiskey,
No.
but you go to some of these distilleries, it's just fantastic.
And I think the thing with, I was spoiled with a day to that distillery, and I think the more they spoil you, the better the drams get, you know. And I think that you'll always have it'll always be my favourite. I think
Really?
it's a great dram, yeah. But I would say a Bunna, and people that drink whiskey know that it's
Bunna.
Bunnahabhain.
It's Bunnahabhain. I never knew that. Bunna, not Bunna.
Bunna. So you can say
Either.
both, yes. But the Islay, now they done a bit of a YouTube, and he said, and he spelt it out. He spelt it, say it as a BON.
Right.
But yeah,
Wow.
you could get away with both if you say it quick enough.
Right. Yeah. You pick another one.
Okay.
Please pick another
So
one.
let's go for right. I quite like this one.
Oh,
So
this is Harrison Ford.
oh, I know. I've just seen it. So
Did you pay
the
for that? There we go.
when I was getting into whiskey, a lot of people would say Glenmorangie.
Yeah, spelt Glenmorangie. Yeah,
And-
Glenmorangie.
Yeah, Glenmorangie. And then people say to you,
Glenmorangie.
it's not Glenmorangie, it's Glenmorangie. So that's fine, no problem. But then what they recently done a rebrand. Well, I'm saying recently, it's a couple of years, 3 years. And to me, it highlights that it could possibly be Glenmorangie.
Oh, because they've split the syllables.
Yeah.
Glenmorangie.
And I'm kind of thinking, we've tried for years to stop people saying Glenmorangie. We've got them onto the Glenmorangie, which they want, and now we split the syllables again, so we go Glenmorangie.
Right.
That's just my opinion. You know, that might be I'm no marketing expert, but it certainly draws your eye. I mean, it's a great label, but I'm missing the Glenmorangie bit.
Right.
It's more Glenmorangie to me.
What does Harrison say? Can we remember?
Harrison, he's a Glenmorangie man. He must be.
Glenmorangie.
He must be.
Right. Well, I pick one.
Yep.
Let's go for this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Glenglassaugh, established 1875, Highland single malt Scotch whisky. Tell me about this whisky before we get to the pronunciation then.
So that's Rachel Barry. I think we mentioned Rachel Barry briefly in our
Yes.
last time we spoke. And again, it's a tremendous whisky. I'm sure, embarrassingly, when I was speaking to Rachel, I did say Glenglassaugh.
Right.
And I think she thought,
She'd lost all hope by then,
because
had she?
people are precious, you know, it's like we might not get it right every time, but just try. So it's Glenglassaugh.
Really?
Yeah.
I should have known that, but I
But you
didn't.
don't know unless somebody tells you. I mean, this might go out and people will say, well, whoever's told her is wrong. You know, I might still be wrong. I'm certainly don't know my Gaelic.
Do you think people maybe shy away from picking a certain whiskey to drink because they don't know how to say it.
Yeah, and I think that comes from a lot of people in the whiskey industry are so precious.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just need to relax a wee bit. It doesn't matter. And in actual fact, if you don't mind me moving on to that one, because this one, so Ledaig.
Oh, this is a cracker. Right, here we go. Ledaig. I mean, yeah, I mean, if it was a street name in Glasgow or Boston in America, you'd say Ledaig, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Ledaig Street, Ledaig.
And that, however, so we had a chap came to the bar. He said to whoever was on the bar at the time, "Can I have a Ledaig?" And she said,
"No, we
don't have it." And he said, he said, "You do?" And she said, "No, we don't." He said, "That's it there." And he pointed it out. And she said, "Oh, Ledaig." And he said, "No, it's Ledaig." But what I found with that is, supposing now he's pronounced it properly, that's great. But I don't know, there's a kind of nicer way to say if you don't know, because everybody will know. And it's back to this, you will never know everything about whiskey, but that, and she was embarrassed, and he was big smarty pants, knew things, and you think, oh, come on, it doesn't matter. But I said Ledaig for quite a long time.
I always have. So how does this taste? The Ledaig.
So that's coming
from
Tobermory.
Tobermory. The wonderful island of Mull. If you've never been there, go. It's stunning.
And so they flip between, in fact, the CVH who were doing the tasting tonight, so Bunnahabhain, Ledaig and Deanston. Mm-hmm. So they're all owned by the same company. So the Tobermory is the non-peated and the Ledaig is the peated.
So that's just to explain to people, that's Mull off the west coast of Scotland.
Yep.
And we've got Islay, which is further south than that. So Mull's up opposite Ardnamurchan on the west. And this is Tobermory, which is the capital.
Yeah.
On the east side. Beautiful. Tobermory's nice, isn't it? Because Tobermory's got all the different coloured houses.
Yeah, that's right.
You get this, if you ask the Swinbanks brothers, they'll take you whale watching. Yeah, brilliant.
And but if you see the Tobermory, I should have brought another bottle, but it's the same distillery.
Right.
But yeah, really very nice.
Let's check. Right, my turn. Mm-hmm. My turn. I will go with this one because if I'm honest, Caolila, I think you could say that lots of different ways. And I've probably said it several different ways. I'm just thinking out loud here. Caolila, another Islay whiskey.
Kalila. And again, I think it's if I get it wrong, nobody likes to feel a fool, and I think we're going to get these wrong because they're difficult. But as long as we try, as I said to you earlier, it's like somebody calling me Gillian instead of Gillian. It's okay. Yeah. It's no big deal. But I would probably correct them.
Yeah.
So, that's Kalila.
Well, I've been called Mr. Beatty.
I know.
Yeah. John Beatty in old rugby days. Right, okay. Is it my turn or your turn? You choose. Oh, you're drinking the whiskey. Good.
I finished it because it was my favourite. So we should go to Isle of Skye.
Northwest.
Fairly new distillery.
Spelling?
Spelling. There you go, I'll let you do that.
Torabhaig. Torabhaig. Okay.
And again, if you're standing at a bar looking at that, thinking, I would like that, but I'm not really sure.
The BH, you'd go for ver, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
BH and Gaelics for ver.
Torabhaig. And I think it's as I say to people, if you don't know, it's okay, just point. We'll find it for you. It's okay, because there's so many, particularly Americans.
Yeah.
Some, we've heard Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
And...
Allt-A-Bhainne. Where there's
Allt-A-Bhainne.
Oban, and without being unkind, and things like we've said before to Loch Lomond, it's Loch Lomond,
Yeah.
but they're just place names, and we would get half the American place names.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally wrong.
And I think they see it and think, oh, Jings, I don't know what to ask for here, but we'll help you. Just point. We'll help.
Torabhaig.
Torabhaig.
Right, Torabhaig. How does that one taste?
Fairly new distillery. Nice.
Nice.
That's a Isle of Skye.
See, that's a bit more
I'm going to say
peaty. That's
2017 for that distillery.
a bit more
So
peaty.
it'll be young. Let me have a wee nose. That's totally different from
Yeah.
the last one.
Yeah.
So it is a younger whiskey, but really, really nice, very well balanced.
You're all set up for the whiskey tasting tonight. What happens? I mean, there are quite a few glasses. I mean, if I take a table here, which the cameras can't see, there's maybe 15 glasses.
So we've got 50 people coming tonight for tasting. We're doing Deanston, Bunnahabhain, and
Doesn't matter.
Ledaig.
Ledaig.
So, yeah, it's always the first Tuesday of the month. So we've got about 55 members in the club, but anyone's welcome as long as we know who's coming along. And it's just a great night. That's been running now for 7 or 8 years, so it's good fun. But we're particularly looking forward to tonight because there's some really, really great drams tonight. So, yeah.
Right, good. So we've got 3 left that I can see. We've got this one. So this is Bruichladdich, which I know people get wrong and think is called...
Bruichladdich.
Yeah,
Bruichladdich.
That's the correct pronunciation, Bruichladdich. Because people say Glenfiddich, don't they?
Yeah.
But Bruichladdich. So the CH at the end of that's silent, Bruichladdich.
And I think, again, you can do the CH at the end, but softly. So you would really do your CH, your first CH, and softly with the last one. Bruichladdich.
So you could say Bruichladdich.
Yeah.
Very gently.
Yeah.
Really?
With the last one, because I thought people kind of knocked it off and done almost IE, laddie, but it's still CH, but a more silent, softer CH.
Very good. Right, you choose one now. We've only got 2 left.
Okay, so this one is another indie bottler, and this is distilled at Allt-A-Bhainne.
How do you spell it?
Yes, let's spell it first. ALLT.
ALLT.
ABHAINNE. So, again, the temptation is to say Allt-A-Bhainne, but it's Allt-A-Bhainne. Allt-A-Bhainne. I think.
BH,
Yeah.
BH is a
BH
V
is
again.
a V.
Right, okay. So Allt-A-Bhainne.
But if someone said to me Allt-A-Bhainne, because I've said that, that's, we would know. We know what it is.
Allt-A-Bhainne. Allt-A-Bhainne. Really?
I think.
I'd have said Allt-A-Bhainne. So, okay, the BH is a V.
Well, I hope so. I don't know. You've got me thinking. I don't know.
We said we'd try. Right. So the last one is a single malt, single cask. Spelling is?
So, Glentauchers.
Glentauchers.
Yep.
I would guess Glentauchers.
Yep.
Glentauchers.
Because of the CH. So I was having a wee look into this one, and it's Glentauchers. And that's when you think, gosh, how difficult can they make this? We're CH and then we're turning the CH into a K. So I think people will have their own ideas of what to say. Them that know Gaelic really well will know it correctly. As I say, I don't. But yeah, that's a Glentauchers. I work in a bar with, 300 or 400 malts, so you need to have an understanding of it. But people get it wrong, and that's fine.
And I think you and I agree. It doesn't matter you get it wrong.
Doesn't matter.
It's a bit like language, isn't it? You can be snobby, and you can be snobby about anything. But if you do your best to pronounce it, fine. But you might get it wrong. But we don't, as Scots, we don't really care.
We don't
We
mind.
just want you to be part of it, don't we?
And sometimes it's part of the charm, especially the Scottish charm, as the different accents. You hear them, and you'll maybe get a posh one, or maybe a West End one or an East End one. There's a difference, but that's part of the charm in Glasgow. I think that's why it's.
Where's your accent from?
So my accent, I was 10 years in England when I was born, and then I went to Ayrshire.
Aye.
So
it's like a Stephen.
If I go to Ayrshire, I mean, you would go, what is she saying? My husband used to say to me on the phone, if I was on the phone to family,
what are you talking about?
And you slip straight back into it. You never forget it. But it's a wee bit of a muddled accent, but that's where it's from.
I was the same. So as a wee boy, being born abroad, I was sent away to boarding school. My dad was from Glasgow, and I would come to see him after school, and I'd be saying, "Hello, Daddy. How are you, Dad?" He'd be going, "What is this, son?" I've been away at school with all these English kids, and "Hello, Daddy. What a super time we had at school." What? But no.
Well, I used
as he was drinking his whiskey on the veranda.
The same talk English accent outside the house and Scottish inside the house. Mm-hmm. And when I came here, I thought I was Scottish, but the Scottish people no way, you're really English. No. But then you start to lose it because you kind of slip into the kind of local chat. But that's where it's from.
Well, thank you for the insight, and it is interesting that shall we try and go through them one by one?
Yes, okay.
So this
Let's do it.
Glentaucher.
Glentauchers.
Glentauchers. Caolila from Isla.
Kalila.
I'm going to break the table.
That's all right.
This is Allt-A-Bhainne.
Allt-A-Bhainne, but
No, you're right.
It's possible I'm not.
This is the belter, I think. Glenglassaugh, which I would have thought would have been Glenglassaugh is
Glenglassaugh.
Right.
I hope I'm not doing that an injustice
I'm sure
there.
You're right. This one's Bunnahabhain. Yeah.
Bunnahabhain, yeah.
Bunnahabhain. Bunnahabhain, you said.
Well, I think you wouldn't say Bunnahabhain, but it's it's not. You're not really OU could be used.
Ledaig.
Ledaig.
You would never get that.
You wouldn't know.
You would never get that. Ledaig. Torabhaig.
Torabhaig. I'm getting my B and H's now in a muddle.
Dram, separate word, MOR.
Duich.
Yes, supplied by Duich. Duich. The famous one, Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie, not Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
And finally, the blue one, Bruichladdich.
Bruichladdich.
Gillian Kirkland, thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.